Hey guys, so we are continuing to work on our learning target here, where we are finding the main idea and using details to support our main idea. Okay, so we have been practicing using text features to understand a text. What are some text features? Can you give me two examples? Nice. So, yeah, text features are things like table of contents, chapter, subtopics, names of chapters, photos, maps, and so on. Good. And finding the main idea of a text is something that you've been doing for such a long time since you've been in school. What does it mean when I say main idea again? Yeah, the main, or we will say most important, most important. We'll say thing because it could be a person or place thing that a text is about. And we will continue to find the main idea and use details to support it by using our boxes and bullets organizer. Okay? So we're going to do this first together with a new text, and then you will have the chance to do this on your own with a nonfiction text of your choice. All right. So we are going to read this text all about, hold on, my bad. We will read this text all about frogs and toads. Okay, so here we're using one of our text features, giving us an idea what is in this book. And I should have put a picture here, but I'll show you the title page, or the cover page, I should say. Frogs and toads. And here's our table of contents. What is something that you are excited to learn about in this book? Yeah, I want to learn about the safe and deadly colors. That's what I'm excited about. You might be excited about something different, and that's all good. All right, page, first page. Now, we are using this text to teach us something. And then as readers, we can teach our friends about something when we read a nonfiction text. Okay? So, keeping that in mind, we're going to keep track of what we learn, like I said, in this boxes and bullets organizer. In each little section, we will come up with a new main idea. All right. In and out of water. Frogs and toads belong to a group of animals called amphibians. An amphibian is an animal that can live on land and in water. Ooh, all right. Now let's see. Most amphibians spend the first part of their lives swimming like fish. As adults, they can move about on land, so they spend less time in the water. Adult amphibians breathe with lungs. They also breathe through their skin. Amphibians are cold blooded. Their body temperature does not always stay the same as ours does. They are as warm or cold as the air around them. All right, now here's how I'm going to know when it's a good idea to type in a new box and bullet organizer. All right, so I have a bunch for you on your Google Doc, okay? Now, you might be reading a nonfiction book today that has chapters, right? Like it'll say chapter one, chapter whatever. As we saw from the table of contents here, they're not called chapters, but they are their own little section. So the first section is in and out of water. I read this page and the second page. Now, when I go to this next page, right, we just have a little picture there. But when I go here, we see that there is a new heading up here. We have a new subtopic or chapter, okay? So that's how I know that, okay, that's going to be a new box and bullet. So I'm going back to the beginning, and everything we read in our first section, the in and out of water, that's going to go up here, okay? In my first box and bullet. All right. If you had to say the main idea, what would you say was the main idea of our first section, in and out of water? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I go back to the text if I need to, and I have this word here in bold. That tells me that it's an important word. So it says frogs and toads belong to a group of animals called amphibians. Amphibians are animals that can live on land and in water. So I'm thinking that probably has or is a big part of my main idea. So I'm writing frogs and toads are amphibians. They live in water and on land. Nice. All right, now let's see. It's our time now for more details, right? Because our learning target here, it's not just finding the main idea. We need to use details to support it, details that tell us about this. So maybe I'm thinking, you know what? I can shorten this. You see, that's the good thing about a Google Doc, right? We can always change it very easily. They live in land, they live on land and in water. I'm just going to make this a little larger for us. There we go. All right. And let's see if I can find some more. Most amphibians spend the first part of their life swimming as a fish, and they move on to land. Wow, I didn't know that. So they begin in the water, then they move on to land. So they start their lives in the water and then move onto land. Okay. Now, remember, our rule of thumb, if possible, we are in third grade. Well, you are, I shouldn't say I am, but we try to give 3 reasons for everything, right? 3 is our magic number. So let's see if there's one other detail we could come up with. Adult amphibians breathe with lungs, they breathe through their skin. Cool. Amphibians are cold blooded, so their body temperature does not always stay the same as ours does. They're as warm or cold as the air around them. Oh, nice. And again, I see this bold, these words in bold here. That tells us that that's important. So it should go with our main idea. So what could we say? Let's say that amphibians amphibians are cold blooded, so their body temperature is the same as the air around them. Nice. All right. Now, okay, we will do this next one together. All right, we have a new section of our book. What is a frog? Frogs and toads look similar, but they are different in some ways. A frog has smooth, moist skin. It needs to live close to water. If a frog's skin dries out, then the frog will die. Frogs have small teeth on their upper jaw. They do not use their teeth for biting or chewing. They do not, they use, sorry, they use them for holding prey. Toads do not have teeth. The long, powerful back legs of frogs allow them to take huge leaps. A frog's back leg has four joints. There is one at the hip, one at the knee, and then two at the ankle. Some tree frogs leap great distances from tree to tree. Sticky discs on the ends of their toes help them land on branches and leaves. Oh, we remember that, kind of like the green anoles. They're webbed and the brown anoles. The webbed feet of this flying frog helps it soar through the air. Oh, and look, that's the end of our section because we see this subheading up here, subtopic, right? So, what is a frog? Was what we just learned. And there were tons of details, right? But we want to find the main idea, okay? So, what would you say was the main idea? Yeah, so I'm going with frogs are different than toads in many ways. Yeah, and we can give three ways right here, okay? So I'll give you the first way. Let me just move this up a little bit. Awesome. I will say that frogs have smooth skin. Yeah, if you ever know toads, they have the opposite of that, right? They are bumpy skin. The frogs have smooth skin. Right? Now, can you give me another way that frogs and toads are different? What do frogs have that toads do not? Hmm. All right, so if we have to look back, that's fine. Yeah, so we could say, and there's more than one way, so there's no right, really, as long as it's from the book, then it's a right answer, okay? But even if I don't choose a way that you did, that doesn't mean you're wrong, you're incorrect necessarily. So they do not use their teeth for biting and chewing. So frogs have teeth. Oh, toads do not even have teeth. Nice. Yeah, frogs have teeth. Right. And another way that you can say is, whoops, my bad, is that frogs are able to take huge leaps, right? Because they have those joints. Frogs can take huge leaps. All right. Good job. Now I know this is a little challenging because you guys don't have the same text in front of you, right? So again, this is one of those challenging parts about being remote and not all in person. But what you are going to do next, you are going to have the chance to do this on your own, okay? So we're continuing finding the main idea of each section. So now we're here. What is a toad? I'll read it with you. I'll read it, and remember, you can always go back in the video to listen to me again. All right? What is a toad? Toads have dry, rough skin. Some toads have lumps on their skin. These lumps are called tubercles or warts. People once believed that touching a toad would give them warts, but now we know that this is not true. A toad's poisonous skin, however, can make animals sick. Toads can be found far from water. A toad travels by walking, taking short hops, or running on its four legs. Its legs are not as long or strong as a frog's. All right, so now it's your chance. First, what do you think is the main idea? What should go in our box right here of that little section here? it's the opposite, right? Toads are different than frogs in many ways. Nice. Okay. All right, now it's your chance. Whoops. You are going to come up with at least one, okay? You can do more details that we can put in our boxes and bullets organizer. What can support our main idea? All right, so here are some examples. So we know toads have warts on their skin. You do not have to have all of these. I'm just putting some in. Toads do not have teeth. Toads take short sleeps, right? Not like frogs. Okay. All right. So now this is your time. You are going to read your own nonfiction book, and you will have your own boxes and bullets organizer. Okay? All right, so now you will have your own boxes and bullets organizer. So you'll find this on Google Classroom, of course. And it's going to be your job to type main ideas of your section of your book and supporting details down here, right? We are wrong thing. We are working, sorry, we're working towards this target, right? We know how to find the main idea. We know how to use text features. Now we're really working on pushing it to our goal of finding the main idea and giving details that support what we say is the main idea. Okay, so you will do this with your own nonfiction text, and then you get the chance to start teaching a partner about what you read today. Okay, so remember, your partner's counting on you, so do your best work. All right, get to work, readers.